Kosovo media reporting was mostly related with the war in Ukraine and Kosovo-Serbia disputes. Since the start of Russian aggression in Ukraine, an opinion has prevailed among the media and the Serbian community in Kosovo that the war there was imposed by NATO. This narrative is certainly not far from the official one of the Serbian state, which since the beginning of this conflict has maintained an open pro-Russian stance, although in some cases Serbia's vote at the UN has been in support of Ukraine's territorial integrity. So what we have seen is that the war in Ukraine brought back the diplomatic battle and the mutual accusations between Kosovo and Serbia. So they were manifested mainly through social media, where there was no shortage of fake news. In this regard, some online websites without ownership have continued to spread misinformation related to security in Kosovo, whose guarantor is the NATO mission. One of these websites, for instance, published an article stating that the situation is alarming and that Kosovo should be careful, since the Serbian army is near border Kosovo and can occupy it in a few hours. Another narrative during this month was the claim of the possible deporting of the Serbs from Kosovo, drawing an analogy with the alleged deporting of the Russians from the eastern region of Ukraine. They were triggered by the decisions of Kosovo government regarding the application of reciprocity in license plates and identity cards, and we have seen that Serbia launched a huge disinformation campaign on the eve of the start of the implementation of this decision, which was expected to start by the end of 31 of July. What we have seen is that Belgrade misinformed that according to the decision of Prime Minister of Kosovo Albin Kurti, the identity cards of Serbs would be confiscated at the border, an action which would precede the final expulsion of Serbs from Kosovo. So this was a huge disinformation, because as a result we have seen that many Serbian citizens with heavy vehicles blocked the roads leading to the border points in Jarinje and Brnjak. Another narrative which I would like to mention is that armed groups are being recruited in Kosovo to fight in Ukraine. In line with this narrative, Serbian officials went even further by misinforming that a group of Chechens and the Caucasians were staying in Kosovo. So the information was issued by the Serbian president Aleksandar Vučić, according to whom the mission of these groups was to eliminate armed Serbs in the north of Kosovo and to recruit potential, let's say, soldiers to fight in Ukraine. So he made this statement without providing any additional facts to support it, and Vučić's claim was covered widely on the front pages of the Serbian media, which were also distributed in areas which are populated by the Serbs, including the north of Kosovo, where there is the largest concentration of the Serbs. When it comes to the sources of disinformation in Kosovo, main domestic sources, like in all Western Balkan countries, are online news portals that share disinformation, including translation of foreign news containing disinformation. So some online portals are affiliated with the political parties and interest groups, and another sources are politicians that give statements to the media or spread disinformation through their social media presences in Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. When it comes to disinformation from foreign sources, mostly come from Serbia. We have seen Serbian state officials and the so-called Office for Kosovo and Metohija within the Serbian government. So they make many, let's say, statements which is specified for the people who lives in northern Kosovo, so for the Serbs in northern Kosovo. What should be done to combat disinformation? We think that media and civil society organizations should raise awareness about these negative narratives and expose the malign influences through professional and watchdog journalism. This is the only way in order to reduce the problem with disinformation, misinformation, so that decision makers from our region and the European Union will benefit from action recommendations about disinformation ecosystem, enabling systematic prevention. Thank you very much.